myself. My name is Chandra, and here I'm going to teach you about narrative text.
Okay.
Have you ever heard narrative text?
No.
What is narrative text?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is that, sir?
Narrative text. The definition of narrative text: narrative is a piece of writing that tells a story. The story can be imaginary or based on a real incident. So here I'm going to tell you about generic structure of narrative. Yeah, there are three generic structure of narrative. First, orientation. Orientation is introducing the participant and informing the time and the place. Second, complication, describing the rising crisis which the participant have to do with. Third, resolution, showing the way of participants solve the crisis better or worse. Oke. Sampai di sini mengerti?
Ya, Pak.
So here I will going to give an example of the narrative text, and I will.
But sir, before, what is the purpose of
The function of narrative text. The function of narrative text is to inform and entertain the readers and to tell the story with amusing way. Sampai di sana mengerti?
Ya.
Oke. Sekarang so here are the example for the narrative text. I just Cinderella story. You can see first. Let's stop.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a beautiful and warm-hearted girl. One day, when her mother passed away, her father remarried another woman. This evil-hearted stepmother had two daughters just as evil as herself. Her stepmother and stepsisters treated her very badly.
You cannot sit with us on the same table.
You cannot sit with us.
Oops! The glass fell down. Hurry and clean it up, Cinderella.
While they were out and having fun, she had to stay home and do all the dirty housework. Everybody at home used to call her Cinderella. When she got tired, she sat down in front of the fireplace, placed her cat on her lap, and tried to warm up with the dying fire. One fine morning, they received an invitation from the palace.
A big ball is going to be held at the palace in honor of the prince, and all the girls eligible for marriage are invited.
While the stepmother was preparing her daughters for the ball, Cinderella was unwillingly helping them.
You have to be the most beautiful girls in the ball. The prince must like you.
Why can't I come? All the girls eligible for marriage are invited.
Really? Is this the outfit you're going to wear to the ball?
When the day for the ball had arrived, all alone at home, Cinderella couldn't help her tears and started crying. Right at that moment, a bright light appeared in the chimney. Through the bright light appeared a beautiful fairy. Cinderella could not believe her eyes because this fairy was her mother. Mother! Hello, my darling. I came to help you. You too will go to the ball at the palace. Really? But how? With my little help. Now you go get me the biggest pumpkin from the garden. And you, Kitty Cat, hurry up and fetch me 7 mice. With one magic touch, the fairy transformed the pumpkin into a beautiful horse carriage. She then turned her magic wand to the mice. One of the mice became the driver, and the other 6 turned into beautiful white horses. Now it's your turn. I look like Princess! But mother, I do not know how to dance. What if the prince asks me to? With these magic shoes, you will be the best dancing girl at the ball. You must have a dance with the prince. Oh, but don't forget, my dear, the magic will be gone by exactly midnight. Therefore, you have to leave the ball before the clock hits 12. Thank you very much, Mother. I will come before midnight, I promise. Mother, will I be able to see you again? I'm always by your side. When Cinderella entered the palace with her elegance and beauty, suddenly all the heads turned towards her. Even her stepsisters could not recognize her, and of course, the handsome prince was mesmerized by her beauty. The king and the queen also were very fond of Cinderella.
Now that's what I call a princess.
Prince immediately asked Cinderella to dance. Cinderella was floating on the dance floor thanks to her magic shoes. The stepmother and her daughters were speechless by her beauty and full of rage with their jealousy. Cinderella was so happy, she could not feel how fast time had passed and completely forgot her promise to her mother. Suddenly, the clock on the wall caught her eye. It was almost midnight. Leaving the prince standing there, she ran down the ballroom stairs, and right when she was running, one of her magic shoes slipped off her foot. But there was not enough time to turn around and pick her shoe up. Running after Cinderella, the prince found her shoe lying on the stairs.
Find the owner of this shoe as soon as possible. If necessary, travel the whole country, but find her.
The men traveled around the country, knocked on every door and allowed every young girl to try the shoe on. But the shoe did not fit anyone. Until finally, they arrived to Cinderella's house. Both the stepsisters tried the shoe on. If you push a little further, it will fit. Yes, my daughter's feet are a little swollen because she's very tired. But the shoe did not fit either of them. The men said that their captain had seen another girl inside the house.
There's another young lady in the house.
As soon as Cinderella put on the shoe, the men knew that it belonged to her because the shoe fit her foot just perfectly.
You have to come to the palace with us, young lady. Our prince awaits for you.
The prince's men took Cinderella to the palace. When the prince saw Cinderella, he immediately recognized her and was very happy to see her. He went down on his knees and asked her to marry him.
Will you marry me, my princess?
Immediately and with great pleasure, Cinderella accepted the prince's proposal. And they lived happily ever after. But so how did it happen that my shoe didn't lose its magic? I'm always by your side. Of course. Oh, Mother. It was you all that time.
So the orientation of this narrative story is from the beginning. From the story tells Cinderella. The complication come when the kingdom announced there is a party, and the resolution come when the prince come to Cinderella's house and match in the Cinderella's legs or foot. Yeah.
Yes.
You can understand that?
Yes, of course.
So, dengan ini story you can learn and the resolution from the story. So you can basically answer it. If I give an exercise about another story. So yeah, I will give you another story and you will answer that in this story what is the orientation from the story, the communication and the resolution.
Okay. What is the title of the
The,
story?
the title of story is The Beauty and the Beast.
I have heard that story.
Yeah.
It was filmed a month before. It was.
You
so
must be
great.
you must be ever heard this story.
Yeah.
So let's watch first and you will answer.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there lived a very rich man. He had 3 daughters. 2 of them were really greedy and self-centered girls, but the third one had a heart full of love and kindness. One day, their dad received the news that his ships had sunk due to the storm. Poor man had lost everything and was left with only his little house in the village. The 2 greedy sisters were of course not pleased with this situation. All day long, all they were doing was sitting around and complaining. All the housework was left to Beauty. After a while, their father heard that one of his lost ships had made it to the harbour. He started to prepare to go to the harbour right away. And before he left, he asked his daughters.
What should I bring you when I get back, girls?
Dress, shoes, necklace and bracelets.
And what about you, Beauty? What do you want?
Just the rose is fine, Daddy. Their father arrived at the harbour after a long journey, but neither his stuff on the boat was there, nor was the ship usable. Sad and tired, he started his journey back home. It was almost dark when he reached the forest. The forest was dark and cold, and it was snowing. He rode his horse for hours and hours on the snow. And finally, he saw a castle with the lights on. He entered, hoping maybe they might help him. It was a weird castle. The lights were on everywhere. The dinner table was full of food, and there was fire in the chimney. But there was no one to be seen. He called out for someone, but no one answered. Finally, not being able to wait anymore, he first ate some food from the table, and then he slept in one of the beds. When he woke up in the morning, he found some new clothes next to the bed. He went downstairs. A nice breakfast was waiting for him on the table.
This castle should belong to a fairy, or she wouldn't help me like this. I wish I could thank her.
When he was leaving the castle, he noticed the rose garden. I could not grant my other daughter's wishes. At least I can make Beauty's wish happen, he thought to himself. Just as he picked a rose, he and his surroundings shook with a loud roar. An evil-looking lion-like beast appeared from behind the trees. The father almost fainted when he saw the beast.
I saved your life. I fed you. I gave you new clothes. And here you are, stealing my roses. Is this how you thank me?
The man went on his knees and begged him. Said that he wanted to take one of the roses to his daughter.
What you did will not go unpunished.
Please forgive me.
I will forgive you with only one condition. Talk to your daughters. If one of them agrees to live here with me, I will grant your life.
The man jumped on his horse and sadly head home. When at home, the two greedy sisters listened to the horrific story their dad went through, but did not even hear the beast's proposal. But Beauty did not behave like her sisters. Daddy, if you allow me, I accept to go next to the beast. The two sisters immediately accepted her proposal because they thought that everything that happened was her fault. Sad and hopeless, her father took Beauty and headed to the castle. When they arrived, everything was like before. The food was on the table and there was no one around. Just as they sat down and started to eat, the beast came out. Beauty started to shake out of fear. Because the beast was as scary as her father had told her, Beast asked with a soft voice,
Did you come here with your own will?
Yes.
Then in the morning, your father will go away and never come back.
When she woke up in the morning, Beauty knew that her father was gone, and she found a nice breakfast waiting for her on the table. She wandered around in the garden for a while. She felt sad when she looked at the roses. Then she went around in the castle. One of the doors was full of roses. She wondered. She opened the door and peeked inside. The room was decorated just like she would have liked, and it was full of books, flowers, and musical instruments. She thought that someone who can arrange a room like this would not hurt anybody. Then she took a book. On the book was written in gold letters, "My dear Queen, your wish is my command." I wish I could see my father now. As soon as Beauty said it, her father appeared in the mirror across the room. Beauty was so surprised. Seeing her father made her happy again. That night at dinner, Beast appeared again.
Would you let me watch you, Beauty?
You own the place. Why would you ask me?
No, you own this castle now. If you want, I can leave immediately.
Beauty was very surprised with his answer.
I want to ask you something. Do you think I'm really ugly?
At first she did not know what to say. Then she lifted her head to look at Beast and nodded as to say yes.
Well, would you marry me then?
This time Beauty answered harshly, "No." Beast turned around sad and left Beauty alone. Beast was visiting Beauty every night at dinner, and he treated her very kind. As the days passed, Beauty felt like she was getting used to Beast. I wish he wasn't that ugly. Couple months passed. Beauty was no longer scared of Beast. She even started to like him. But one day, she saw in the mirror that her father was ill. She raced next to Beast and asked him to let her go home, because she wanted to take care of her sick father.
Of course, you can go. But if you don't come back, I might die from sadness.
I will come back after a week, I promise. Beast gave Beauty a ring. When she would put this ring on her nightstand and fall asleep, she would wake up back in the castle. The next morning, she woke up in her own bed in her father's house. She ran to her father at once. When her father saw her, he was so happy that he felt better. In the afternoon, Beauty's sisters, who recently had gotten married, came to visit their father. When they found Beauty at home, they were furious with envy and anger. And they decided to play a little trick on her.
Let's make her stay here one more week. Then the beast will come and kill her.
The two sisters came next to Beauty, crying, and told her that they didn't want to be apart. Beauty promised to stay one more week. Not long after, Beauty realised that she missed Beast. One day she saw a dream where Beast was lifeless on the ground in the castle's garden. She woke up in a sweat.
What I'm doing is cruel and selfish.
So she immediately took the ring off her finger, put it on the nightstand beside her, and she woke up in the Beast's castle in the morning. She waited for the Beast all day long, but he was nowhere to be seen. She waited for hours and hours, but Beast did not come. Suddenly, she went running into the garden. Beast was lying down lifeless on the ground, just like she saw in her dream. Beauty ran next to him and hugged him. Beast's heart was still beating. He rarely opened his eyes and spoke with difficulty.
I thought you weren't coming back. I stopped eating and prepared to die.
But I love you, and I want to marry you.
At that instant, something magical happened. Suddenly, the castle became brighter and more beautiful. Beauty looked around stunned, and then she turned her head back to the Beast. But where the ugly Beast was lying, now there was a young and handsome prince. When she saw him, Beauty started to cry.
Who are you? And where did the beast go?
Prince stood up and started to tell.
I am the beast. An evil witch put a spell on me. She turned me into an ugly beast. If you hadn't said that you wanted to marry me, I would have had to live my life as a beast forever.
When she heard this, Beauty was much happier. With her good heart, she found true love. Beauty and the prince got married and lived happily ever after.
So, can you answer the orientation?
What the question?
The orientation on
genetic structure. Okay.
Yeah, the genetic structure.
Actually, each want to answer the question of the genetic structure. Actually, the orientation. What is the orientation of the story?
Yeah, every student must be give the answer.
But he
for
wants.
this. Yeah, you must. Your third must answer the question.
No.
So you first is check off.
When there's not a narrative yet, no?
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Yes, the genetic structure.
Oh yes.
As I explained that before.
I think the orientation is when the narrator introduces the story and the character in the beginning of the story.
Yeah, then
Yes, I think it's enough.
and for the complication.
But he already understand. Come on.
Okay, fine. Complication. When I think there was a character, the evil one. I think the complication when the beast met the bell in his kingdom, in the beast kingdom. And actually, the beast is a handsome prince. That's the competition.
Okay, and for the resolution, what do you think, Nanda?
I didn't watch at the end, so can you tell me what the resolution is?
Yes.
I didn't understand.
No, you must
Please,
answer
sir.
this. You must answer first, and I will explain
Okay.
how
But-
actually this
The resolution.
generic structure.
The resolutions when the beast or the bad prince become a real prince or the handsome prince
Okay.
and be happy with well forever after.
So you can get the value of the story. Never judge anyone who
Ugly.
bad or ugly, have an ugly.
I get to tell you, don't judge someone physically whether it's bad or good because no one has known the
The
heart.
inside.
Yes, the inside
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you're right.
So we have to, I think, recognize one closer.
Okay, Randy, you are learning so much.
Thank you, sir.
So I will end. Thanks for the participant. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome, sir.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.